We're back on Inside Tennessee with UT System President Randy Boyd. Don and Susan with us. Don?
Randy, let's talk, as you mentioned, you're president of the system. And I'm interested in the Memphis campus, the medical center. How has the impact, or what has the impact of the abortion legislation, which is incredibly controversial in our state, done to the educational process for the med school there, and students being interested in OB-GYN practices, really learning how to do emergency terminations of pregnancy, those things? Have you seen an impact or discussion amongst your medical faculty and wanna-be medical students, so to speak, and whether they even want to come to this state and this university?
Well, so first off, we haven't seen an impact in enrollment. We haven't seen an impact in our students wanting to leave, but it is something of an important discussion for our students and our faculty. And so I'll just say that while it hasn't impacted enrollment and what we're trying to do now, it's definitely a concern, and we're definitely involved in conversations. And I know our chancellor has come out suggesting that we need to have some accommodations for our faculty and our students.
And are we still teaching OB-GYN practices that involve termination of any kind of pregnancy, emergency pregnancies or anything, at UT Med Center now as we speak?
No.
We are not?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Susan?
Just talking a little bit about these numbers that continue to come to Tennessee. 68% of undergrads are Tennessee students, as I understand it. Majority, obviously, that go to UTK, and the rest of the system from Tennessee. Are you all looking at bringing in more out-of-state students so we can increase the cost or the tuition coming to the revenue at Tennessee?
We want to increase both. So our goal is every year to increase more Tennessee students coming, but we have so much demand from out-of-state. We're also bringing in more out-of-state students as well. And one of the advantages to bringing in out-of-state students, it brings more talent into our state. As we all know, we've hit the demographic cliff. We're having more or fewer and fewer graduating seniors in our state, and at the same time, nobody can find employees. What's the best way to bring future trained employees into the state? It's our universities. And so the more talent that we can bring from other states and keep them here in our state, it's better for our state.
Can a C student get into UTK now?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got more our Tennessee students in UT today than ever before. So it's increasing each year.
What's the average GPA and the average ACT coming into Tennessee at this stage?
So this might be old data because it changes constantly, but I'll just say that roughly the last time I looked, the average ACT for out-of-state was around 29.2 and in-state was 27.1.
That's high.
But it is
that's
high.
very good.
And let's be fair about that. A C student isn't going to come directly into UTK, for example.
Right.
They may have to go through the JUCO program, which is, frankly, kudos to you. You helped create 2 years free junior college for anybody that wants it in Tennessee, most anybody. But a C student are they going to get into over in West Tennessee? Are they going to get into Chattanooga even at this point?
They could, well, maybe not necessarily a C student, but we may have to look at their ACT.
Right.
If they have an ACT of over 21, they're going to be very competitive getting into UT Southern, UT Martin, UT
But not
Chattanooga.
Knoxville.
Probably not Knoxville.
Right.
But, 21 ACTs, you're going to have a lot of other things in your credit before you can get into
Following up on Susan's question really quick on enrollment numbers, UTK and UT system has kind of lagged behind the country a little bit in online education. And Susan and I, between the two of us, I think we've been on every governance and supervisory board that UT has had to offer. And we've talked about this for many years. How are we doing on increasing our online education? Because to me, that seems like sort of low-hanging fruit for the university.
That's something that we've been talking about at our board meetings and within our system for the last couple of years, looking at ways in which we could catapult our online education faster. As you might remember, we used to talk about the drive to 55 and getting 55% of our population with some type of education past a high school degree. There's not enough high school students to get us there. The only way our state can be successful in doing what they have to do is getting the trained workforce is getting more adults back in. So at UT, we believe that the best way to reach to adults is through online education. UT Martin has a great online MBA program that's doing really, really well. UT Knoxville has a smattering of programs, but what UT Knoxville is going to do to leapfrog our offerings is partner with Arizona State University.
Right.
10 years ago,
Fine
Arizona-
job doing online education.
They had 10,000 students 10 years ago. They have 90,000 students today.
That's right.
They know a lot of things that we don't know. They can help us get to where we need to be much faster than we can do by ourselves.
When you started the Drive for 55 program, what percentage was it then and what is it now, just for our viewers?
So in 2013, when we came up with the Drive to 55, and by the way, so 55% is something that every think tank forecaster said in 2013 employers would need by the year 2025. So it wasn't just a made up number. It was what employers needed. At the time in 2013, we came up with a goal, it was 32%. Today we're at 46%. We made dramatic progress, but we've got a long ways to go. And quite frankly, and in part because of the pandemic, we probably aren't going to get 50, I can say pretty assuredly, we won't hit 55% by the year 2025. But it was always a stretch goal. It's not a failure that we didn't get to 55%. We look at going from 32% to 46%. If we hadn't had this really big, audacious goal, I don't think we'd have been at 46% today.
We've got to take a quick break. A lot of folks are going to be interested in the stadium, the baseball stadium, the multi-use stadium that is underway in downtown Knoxville. More of our conversation after this.